Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is part one of two. Today, in the history of Warframe, there is nothing more customizable and or personable as two different types of weapons, and today we're going to be looking at one of them, and one of them being the Zaw. If anybody tells you that Zaws are trash, garbage, don't waste your time with building them, same with kick guns. I'm here to beg the differ. I'm going to show you a couple of Zaws that I have that are insanely powerful, and only one has one forma in it. Okay? I built a Zaw just for the fun of it, and I got hooked on it. I built a kick gun just for the fun of it. I got hooked on them. I love kick guns. I love Zaws. Primary, secondary kick guns, fan of them. Melee with a Zaw, it can be beautiful. It can be a beautiful thing, and depending on what you're trying to accomplish with what you're working on with these weapons. Steel path worthy? Possibly, maybe. Um, so why don't we get into it and just get right down to the brass tacks on these things. Right now, the Zaw that I am using has one forma in it, and I named it Laserbeak. Okay. Um, this thing is wrong thing. Is actually pretty nice. Take a look at what we got going on over here. Um, yeah, and I'm gonna show you the build for this. Okay. Uh, Going down into the reason why the channel is Krauser WVCR is because I believe in viral, corrosive, and radiation. Three of the nicest things that you could put on a weapon. Okay, so we're going to jump right into this. We're going to take a look here. Of course, Prime Fever Strike. You can get that from Bo Katir. So save up them ducats when you get them. Um, but if you don't have Prime Fever Strike and just regular Fever Strike, it doesn't do as much, but it will get you by. Now, as I said, I've got one forma into this. I've got a lens on it, one forma, and using Exodia Might. Okay, using Exodia Might, this thing is very nice. It's very nice. Now, that's the viral build. The corrosive build, as I said, if you do not have Prime Fever Strike will work, but it won't get you, the bigger pretty numbers. Of course, this one here is a little lacking, but it's fine. It's nothing too terrible. And I use different stances on all my builds. Um, this is the radiation build. Now, what we're focusing on is the viral build, the actual strongest build out of them all. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to go back, show this thing off. Okay. Now, level 80 of the, what am I using? I'll show you guys what I'm going up against. The Corrupted Heavy Gunner. Okay. So we're going to simulate that. Got them over there. I am using the Panzervolopophyla. Grab myself some energies. Come over this way. Just brandish the weapon. Making Swiss cheese out of all of them, as you can see. Now, here's the pretty thing. Look at that. My kitty cat wanted to play. Okay, we're gonna get back into this. Drop them down. Slash them through. Get them back up in the air. Now see, it's always easier if you're doing a slam attack because then they can't stand there and keep shooting at you as you're whacking them apart. That's one of the bigger pluses about doing the melee weapons is you just get right in on them, pop them up, 2 at a time, 3 at a time, 4 at a time. Pretty much finished on that heavy attack. Watch this. Done. A little bit of a mercy. She tried to get away. You see that? Simple, easy, 80. Level 80. Okay, now this is a Zaw. We'll bring him back. And this is a Zaw that has 1 forma in it. Okay? I've been taking this Zaw to Steel Path, and at 100, it's not going to get me past 140. Guaranteed. It's not going to get me past 120 guaranteed, but it does a very nice job. So keep that in mind. A Zaw can be a very powerful weapon. Now I'm going to move on over to my Markita Prime, named after the martial arts master. Well, the bladed martial arts master. A lot of these gold mods you can pick up through vaults, bounties, things like that. All the other mods you can pick up just playing the game. Uh, the the arcanes you can get through bounties, missions. I think for this all, Hawk has them on Cetus. Just go buy them with your standing. Now this build is a little bit different, a little bit more on the saucy side. I'm using heat and viral. So we're gonna take and jump down into this. Now, also, depending on where your placement for mods are, if I moved Molten Impact up over here, it becomes Toxin and Blast. So if you take and move it down, you got the heat and everything else. I like to try to keep everything, you know, nice and orderly. So if you keep your primary, which is like your North Wind, Vicious Frost, and Prime Fever Strike up at the top, you're not going to have a problem. You got to keep pressure point up at the top as well. So this way here, it will register that damage that it does. But if you drop that down into the last 2 slots, it'll drop up to where you have the heat and the viral. Now, as I said, we're going to take this Zaw in. And let's see what it does. Level 80, Corrupted Heavy Gunners. Look at this. It is just hacking and slashing its way through them. Not even. No regrets. No regrets whatsoever with this weapon. Drop them up in the air and chop them to bits. Look at this. We're making salad. Everybody loves salad. Yay, salad. Look at this. Just chopping them up. And this is with no No forma in it whatsoever. It's max ranked, it's gilded, and absolutely destructive. This could possibly take and get us a little further. You like to play? Chappy? 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 Look at that. Mm, has some. Okay, that's everybody up here. Now, this could probably go a little higher than the 80. It could probably go about 100 before it starts running into any issues. Let's give it a run. Let's give it a run and see what happens. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna make it 100. Confirm that. Let's simulate and see what happens here. And then I'll show you another one. Look at this. So far, so good. And I know you're saying, yeah, it's easy to hit a standing target that's not fighting back, but so far, so far, so far, pretty good. These are just tests. This is just to show off what the weapon can possibly do. Now, of course, you need to put, you know, you'll have to have Forma into these if you have all of your mods jacked up all the way. As you can see, I'm running like, pretty much my prime mods I keep at about a half. I do intend on getting more of the prime mods from Borrow. So this way here I can have a half, an empty, and a fully maxed. But as you can see, the Mercata Prime is not doing, you name these things whatever you want. Um, I just so happen to name this after Doug Marcaida. It will cut, it will kill, if you've ever seen that show. Um, yeah, look at this. It's a little bit of a struggle, not too terribly much at 100. Let's take a run around and take a look here. Oh, and yes, my Panzer Volupifila is procking uh, viral as well, because he's a good kitty. So that's everybody. Some tried to hide and escape, and we'll do a live test here in just a second. I'll go back to 80, and let's see what happens here. Resimulate. We'll come back and unpause the AI. And there we go. Now they're shooting at me. Trying to keep my eyes open. Get some priming action going. I'm going to go down. I know I am. without happening to do some shooting. And there I am. I'm dead. Okay. So 80 gunfire is a little bit stronger, especially with these guys. Um, I'm still working on my builds for Gara and everything else. So you have to bear in mind, but this is just, you know, this is good stuff. And it's showing you really what you can do with um, having a Zaw as a melee weapon. And this is seriously, any kind of a situation that can be handled with a melee weapon. And like I said, if anybody tells you that Zaws are garbage, don't waste your time, don't waste your effort. I beg to differ. Okay, I've always begged to differ. Until the day that they give us, the ability to create our own warframe, which is never gonna happen. Um, you know, this is what we have that is closest to anything. You know, really. And this is the only thing that we have in the game besides fashion framing that is absolutely totally and completely customizable. Um, do I have anybody hiding? I'm doing this just for the fun of it all and just for you guys here at YouTube to see this, okay? That really you can have a whole lot of fun with using Zaws. Where's my one at? Where's my other one at? See, now I have a Nakanana Prime. Really? Laserbeak, the one that I call Laserbeak, is actually stronger than the Nakanana Prime, even though it's got basically the same mods. But it's, we'll go with another one here real quick. Uh, we'll do, we'll pause AI just for the fun of it all. Not trying to look bad here or nothing, but this is one I called Ruby Glimmer. And this one is a heat and viral build. And just whacking its way through them. Send them up. They can't shoot you. And look at this, okay? Put that poor girl out of her misery. And some of them are just dying from the impact. Some are just dying from that impact. With Zaws, like I said, they're a very personable item and very useful. Um, she's done. Done. It all depends on what you're looking for with a weapon, how you want to build it. Because here's the thing, kick guns and saws are two separate things altogether. Um, and as I said, it all depends on how you want to build them. Um, I always like to put a nice skin on all of my weapons if they'll take a skin. And really, they should. They all should have the ability of doing something uh, with it. Um, it depends on what you're looking for. Like here, for example, I got this one called Cuckoo because it is a nuts weapon. It's a kick gun. And I'll give you just a small sample of what this thing can do. Still a work in progress. I'm getting it to where it needs to go. But yeah, just pounding. You can just pound away on them all day long with these things. It's taking a bit because, like I said, I'm still working on this one. Um, when I get it to where I need it to be, it'll be nice. I'll give you guys a peek at another one I'm working on because I'll cover those in some the other videos here. This one here is I call him Dingamus Prime, and it's a 25 one forma. And that's the problem. I gotta get it up further so I can finish it off as to what it's supposed to be doing. Let me see. Do I have a straight out radiation build on this thing? I do. Watch this. Okay. This is just a small touch. We're gonna stick with 80 and I'll bring back 20. Not doing huge numbers. It's not doing a whole lot. Like I said, it's a work in progress. When it didn't have the forma and I wasn't starting to work over on it again, it was a beast. It was a total and complete beast. But as I said, depending on the work that you want to put into it, some of them one forma, some of them no forma. Um, they are what you want them to be, in all honesty. Uh, they're very good weapons. Do, I really do, uh, enjoy the hell out of using them. If I can't get my hands on to a specific type of, that was bizarre. If I can't get my hands on a specific type of weapon, you can build it. You can honestly build it. Um, without even thinking about it, to be honest with you. Now I do have another Zaw that is not as great, but not disappointing. I called it Ravage after the Decepticon, of course, much like Laserbeak. I do name things after Transformers. You guys are gonna have to learn this. But I don't know how many things that I have that are actual Zaws and kick guns. Now I am going to discuss something here. Yes. This is the this is the focal point. This is the key of what I wanted to talk about, especially with this build. Knights of Nerberus. Yes. Harrain event going on. Um, I was a little disappointed to see that they actually kind of nerfed some of the items that you get because we didn't have Plague Star this year. Um, the Plague Aquin got nerfed. They actually took the inherited viral properties off of it. And I bought that, and I bought the parts to um, build this weapon with the Vergrit 2 Jai, the Mawin, and the Plague Aquin to make myself a very brutal viral monster. henceforth the name of this weapon being Terrifier. Here, I'll show you exactly what it looks like without the fancy skins. Okay, that's pretty brutal. But I bought a skin for it. I had to. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, like, look at that. That's sexy. That's very sexy. Now, the problem is the way I have this thing built, and I'll show you my build on it. I have no problem showing you my build. Okay. Heavy, heavy, heavy onto the viral. Got Jagged Edge, Rendering Strike, Vicious Frost, North Wind, Prime Fever Strike. Like I said, if you don't have Prime Fever Strike works just fine. Um, Virulent Scourge. I have the Carnus Mandible. You can pick that up through, I think, some bounties and even some missions drop it. It's all random. Jagged Edge, bolts, bounties, etc. I need to get more Exodia Force for this thing, because might doesn't work for it so much. But this is my typical viral build. Then I have is this the corrosive? There's the corrosive build. Then I have my radiation build onto it. So we'll stick with the corrosive, well, the viral. Henceforth, like I said, that's why the channel is called Krauser WVCR. VCR stands for Viral Corrosive and Radiation. Let's take a look at this thing. It's fully maxed out, got some good stuff to it, but it doesn't have that full punch of the viral because they took either the viral or the toxin that these things would procure off of it. And I'm like going, what the hell? I have all the weapons from Plague Star. Now as you can see, yes, level 80, heavy gunners, just kind of like hanging out on a Saturday night. You just come busting in and be like, hey, how y'all doing? Just chopping through them. Just chopping through them. That's the reason why I picked it up, was because of the fact that I wanted that. And I have all the Plague Star melee weapons. And you're probably going, what do you mean by the Plague Star melee weapons? There was only 2 blades and like 2 handles, I believe. Let me show you what I did. Now, I don't have a catalyst in these weapons. Not because of the fact that I didn't think that they were going to be worth it, but I just didn't put it in. I have one that I call the Plague Reaper. It's got a pretty skin on it, but that's the scythe. My Plague Slicer is not skinned. You all need skins for some of these weapon configurations, but as you can see, it's the same blade, and this had the one handle. My Plague Spike, which is, like I said, skins. Come on, guys, skins. You like to skin everything. Give us the skin. This was the pole arm. This was the staff, and then the rapier, which has the Plague Aquin and the epitaph. And this thing, okay, inherently, the whole rig, the handle and the blade, inherently, with a total of 62.5 viral on this thing. Okay, that's just on this. Let's take a look at the Plague Spike. 69% from the blade and the handle. My Plague Slicer, 59.2 blade and handle. And the Plague Reaper, 68.5 blade and handle. I built these for completely different things. As you can see, I just left the virals alone. Now, if I were to jack up the viral on this or the toxin, it's going to be sky high. Sky high. I just need to put catalysts in them. I just kind of, after I maxed them, I was like, I backed off of all four of them. So that was the thing. Now, we'll go back to Terrifier. Okay. And watch this. Inherently, the Plague Star weapons had viral on them. Okay. So I'm going to take everything off of this. Nothing viral. Now, if you think I'm crazy on this, I'll show you here in a second. Okay. Nothing viral. And it has a weapon, well, the handle, that is inherently viral or toxin. So what happened? What happened when they did this? I think they nerfed that because of the fact that they knew that you could actually build one hella crazy Zaw with that weapon. And we'll go to my plague thrust, the rapier. Okay. Now, as you can see, the only thing I have on here is Prime Fever Strike and Vicious Frost. Okay, so we're gonna come over here. You see where that's at with it, right? Now watch this. See that? See that right there? Inherently, okay. Spoiled Strike, melee sundering, jagged, pressure, vulpine. Nothing is giving this weapon a viral bonus. This weapon has a viral bonus on it. Okay? Because of the fact that the handle and the blade, they took that away from the new weapons when you go to Sister and you buy them from her. Okay? And you buy them from her. Okay? You get the plague weapons from her. Or the plague parts for the weapons, for the Zaws. They don't have anything on them. I don't understand why DE did this, but they did it. So really, as you saw, okay, as you saw with Terrifier, it did eat through those 80s without hesitation, and there is no forma in that weapon. I'll show you again. Max ranked, no forma, built for viral. There is no inherited viral bonuses to this. Okay, so I really had to work with building up um, its ability. So keep that in mind when you go to Sister and you purchase the the plague weapon parts for the Zaws. But anyway, I hope that this has been worth your time hanging out with me here on this video. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe. It's much appreciated. It does go a long way. Um, but as I said, if anybody ever tells you that Zaws are junk, don't use them. Please help yourself. Make yourself a couple of Zaws. Experiment with them. Play with them. If you've got a better build, let me know in the comments below. Just be like, hey, I figured out by playing with this and this, and when you build this, this is what you get. I'll take that into advice and I'll give it a try myself. Like I said, I have no problem building Zaws and kick guns. Trust me, I love those weapons. Um, Probably I'd say 3 or 4 months after I started playing Warframe, Dingamus Prime was the first um kick gun that I had built, and it was probably a level 25. And I was specifically building this weapon just to do hella amounts of radiation damage. And somebody came into my stream and told me that that gun was not going to get me through the mission. And it was a defense mission. And it was on, I want to say it was on Jupiter, is where I was at. And they were like, well, I got Earth, Mars, Venus, and Jupiter open. That's about where I was at in that type of area. So I'm doing a defense on it, and that gun's not going to get you far. You're wasting your time. Seriously. So after 15 rounds of using that weapon, they sat there and they just went, I stand corrected. Seriously. Believe in your kick guns, believe in your Zaws. Um, I just wanted to show you something that what is possible taking a Zaw and going up against level 80. It's questionable if you can go above 80. But my Markita Prime I showed you can hold its own pretty well against hundreds. Have I tried Laserbeak or Terrifier or any of the others? No, 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 not yet. Um, I might in the future, but nonetheless, if everybody believes in their weapons and what the meta is and everything else, like I said, I'm holding all of us accountable and finding different ways of doing things in this game to show them that really we don't need them. Um, to prove a point, to prove a point. We'll win this battle. Trust me. Um, Now then, we'll be getting on to the second video here probably next week or the week after, depending on time frames. But I really wanted to get you guys this video because this is something that really I love, is the Zaws and the kick guns. And this is part one of two. And I just wanted to show you what these things can be capable of doing, if not going a little bit beyond, if that makes any sense. So, with that being said, guys, I just want to tell you thank you so much for taking time out to sit here and hang out with me on the channel. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. I'll try my best to answer back. Real life and work, streaming on Twitch. You can find me Krauser W on Twitch. Just you become a busy person after a while. And yeah, I'll sneak a video in onto YouTube whenever I get a chance to. But nonetheless, guys, I'll see you guys the next time around. I'll see ya. Today is Monday. I'll see you tomorrow on my stream, uh, playing Warframe. Yeah. Then maybe you'll actually get to see some of these weapons in full-fledged action, and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Because yeah, I never leave a kick gun or a Zaw laying on the table. Until then, guys, see you later.
I'm just coming over here, chop them up, just stab them all the time. Just chop, 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 chop. I tell them, I said, y'all gonna be dressed in my salad sauce. Just like this, yeah. Yeah, see, just like that right there. I'll just chop him up and just stab it, stab it, stab it. Stab it to the dead.